It started with the major scale and its beautiful simplicity. Then we hit you with the chromatic scale and all of the never-ending half steps. Then we gave you not one, not two, but 3 minor scales. And now I give you a scale like one you have never experienced before, the whole tone scale. A whole tone scale is made up of only whole steps. So starting on C natural, we'll go up 1 whole step to D, another to E, then another all the way up to F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then 1 last whole step gets us back to C. Let's hear how that sounds. C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C. Let's listen one more time. Now I'm just going to add those same pitches we found using just the keyboard onto the staff. So we've got C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C. Notice that unlike any of the other scales that we've studied, the whole tone scale actually skips one of the lines or spaces. In this case, we're skipping the B line, so there is no version of a B in this particular whole tone scale. And that actually makes the whole tone scale pretty easy to identify on paper. You're just going to look for where there's a missing line or space, and then you'll know immediately that it's a whole tone scale. And just like any other scale, we're going to name it based on the first note. So since this scale starts on C, it's a C whole tone. To write the descending version, I'm just going to use the exact same notes that I used on the way up. Notice that I've repeated all of the same accidentals that I had on the way up. It is better to repeat just for clarity's sake. Notice also that I'm using only sharps in this scale. For the whole tone scale, you are going to want to pick either sharps or flats. You don't want a mix of both. Let's go ahead and sing this scale again on Lu. But it can get kind of hard to keep track of where you are in the scale if you're just on a neutral syllable like Lu. So we're actually going to use solfege on our whole tone scale as well to help us keep track of all of the whole steps and where we are within the octave. So just like with the major scale or the chromatic scale, we're going to start and end on Do, which means that our last note and also this top note are going to be Do. So that means that we're thinking in C major if C is Do. So then we can pretty easily add in Re and Mi. But then now we're going to need to tap into our chromatic solfege, because in C major we would expect F natural, but we have F sharp. So we're going to call this Fi, and then C, and Li. And for the purposes of this class, this is actually going to be the pattern that we use for solfeging all of our whole tone scales. So let's go ahead and sing it. Here's Do, Do, Re, Mi, Fi, Si, Li, Do, Do, Li, Si, Fi, Mi, Re, Do. One more time. Do, Re, Mi, Fi, Si, Li, Do, Do, Li, class, we're actually only ever going to start our whole tone scale on C natural or D flat. The reason for that is because those are actually the only two distinct whole tone scales that exist. Let me show you what I mean by that. So we just built one starting on C natural, which was C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, C. Now I'm going to take a different color and find the notes that I would use for the one starting on D flat. So we've got D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B, and then back up to D flat. Now I'm going to take a third color and find the notes I would use if I were going to write one starting on D. So we have D, then E, then F sharp, then G sharp, then A sharp, C, and D. So what you might notice is that all of those green notes that I found are the same set of pitches that I used for the whole tone scale we wrote starting on C natural. So basically what that means is that regardless of what note I start on, the pitches that I end up finding are always going to be either this red set of pitches or this blue set of pitches. And so that's why we're just going to focus on writing the two starting either on C natural or on D flat. Just for practice, let's go ahead and write the other whole tone scale, the one that starts on D flat. So we got D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B, and again D flat. So we're just going to add those same pitches to our staff. So we've got D flat, E flat, F, G, A, B, D flat, B, A, G, F, E flat, D flat. Again, notice that I'm only using one kind of accidental. In this case, it's the flats. And I do have a missing space this time around. So we've skipped over the C space. And then our final step is going to be to add in the solfege pattern. So remember, it's do, re, mi, fi, si, li, do. Let's go ahead and sing that. Here's do. Do, re, mi, fi, si, li, do. Do, li, si, fi, mi, re, do. One more time. Do,